Hi, I'm going to try to answer the question, are we all called to be holy? And what does that mean? Well, in order to answer the first question, are we all called to be holy? First, we have to answer the second question. What does it mean to be holy? Well, if we look at the Old Testament, certain places are holy, like the temple and Mount Sinai. Why were these places holy? Is it because they were virtuous or without sin? No. It was because they were set apart for God. Certain objects were holy. For example, the Passover food or the robes of the priests. Again, these were not holy because they were virtuous, but because they were set apart for the service of God. Nowadays, we have holy places too, like churches especially, and holy objects like relics and all the utensils used at Mass. These are set aside for the worship of God. So we don't use a communion chalice for our morning coffee, and we don't use holy water to wash our clothes or water the lawn. That would be silly. So we can see that the essence of being holy isn't being virtuous or good or without sin. Being holy means being set apart for God. In that sense, yes, we are all called to be holy. At our baptism, we were claimed for Christ. We were set apart for His service. We were made holy. Is this something we've earned? Of course not. We can't earn that call from God. It's He who sets us apart for Him. It's He who calls us. And if we were baptized as babies, we couldn't even respond to God's invitation for ourselves. Our parents and godparents had to do it for us, with the plan that they would teach us all that our baptism means in our lives. Once we understand that we are all called to be holy by virtue of our baptism, we can begin to see how we need to live our lives to reflect the holiness that God has given us. If something is set apart for God, whether a place, an object, or a person, that something needs to be in tip-top shape to reflect the glory of God. When it gets dirty or needs repairs, we clean it or mend it. For people, then, this means loving God and loving our neighbor, and going to the sacrament of reconciliation when we need a little cleaning and mending. In this way, we can live out the vocation of holiness that God has given us.